Pastor, can I ask you a hard question? What if the biggest reason your church isn't growing is because your website is confusing? You've got theology, a heart for ministry, and programs, but when people visit your website, they don't feel invited. They feel overwhelmed or underwhelmed or lost, and they never show up. That's the problem the StoryBrand framework solves. In this episode, I'm going to show you why every church, especially churches who are looking to grow, should apply the simple storytelling structure to their website and how it can unlock clarity, confidence, and growth. Welcome to the Mainline Marketing Blueprint, a podcast where we help churches, pastors, communicators break through growth barriers with strategic messaging and digital clarity. I'm your host, Larry Williams, and today we're digging into a communication framework that has helped thousands of churches and businesses around the world simplify their message and grow their impact. It's called StoryBrand, and it can change the way you think about your church website forever. Let's be real. Most church websites were built for insiders, not newcomers. They include things like event calendar, committee updates, ministry team bios, church history pages, and long theological statements. None of that helps guests know what to do next. Meanwhile, guests are asking, where do I go? Will I be welcomed? What should I wear? Will my kids be safe? Does this place even speak to someone like me? The disconnect is huge, and the truth is people don't have time to figure it out. If your site isn't clear in the first 7 seconds, they'll move on to the next church down the street. StoryBrand helps fix that. StoryBrand is a communication framework developed by Donald Miller. It is based on the structure of nearly every powerful story, movies, books, and even scripture. And here's the big idea. Your church is not the hero, the guest is. Your church is the guide who helps them find their way. That subtle shift changes everything about how you write your homepage, your plan your visit page, or even your sermon titles, but we'll get to that later. When you speak like a guide, people listen because you're offering them help to win the battle that they are fighting. So let's get into the actual framework and what's included. There's 7 parts to this framework. Let's walk through what this would look like for a church and how a church would utilize this. The first one is you have a character, and that's the guest visiting your church. That person has a problem. They're spiritually disconnected or lonely. They meet a guide, your church, who gives them a plan. Clear steps like plan your visit and calls them to action. Join us this Sunday, watch online, etc. That ends in success, belonging, hope, and community, and helps them avoid failure, more disconnection, or spiritual isolation. That's how your homepage should read. It's not about your church's anniversary or all 37 ministries. It's about helping someone find their next step towards faith and connection. So what does this look like on your actual website? So let's apply this. First, start with your header. Instead of saying something like, welcome to First United Methodist Church, say something like, a place to belong, a place to grow, and a people to journey with. Pastor, here's a tough question. How many potential guests has your church quietly lost because your website didn't reflect who you are? They searched, they found your site, but the info was outdated, the message was unclear, and there was no next step. And just like that, they moved on. In 2025, your website is your church's first impression. And when it's not clear, inviting, or mobile friendly, people never even make it to your real front door. I'm helping 100 churches fix that this summer. Message me if you want a free website review. So let's stop losing people that God already sent. Right. And then let's think about a call to action. Instead of simply saying, learn more, say, plan your visit. Watch this Sunday's message. Connect with us. For the body text, speak to their challenges. Say something like this. We know it's hard to find a church that feels like home. And that's why we've created a welcoming space where faith feels real and people feel known. Give them a simple plan. Join us this Sunday. Meet a pastor. Take your next step. That builds trust. It feels clear, warm, and pastoral, and it works. And a lot of times people think these things don't matter, but they really do. We want to make sure that what we are saying is clear to someone who is looking for an actual church. And that's why we want to apply these types of things to our websites, finding simple language that will help people to take a next step. Why does this matter for churches? I work with a lot of mainline denominations in my agency, so many of them have deep theology, rich tradition, and genuine community. But if your website does not communicate clearly, people won't see any of that. In fact, one of the biggest things holding mainline and every church back from growth today is unclear messaging. It's not your heart, your liturgy, or your doctrine. It's your delivery. A lot of people think the closure or the decline for mainline churches, or really any church, it has to do with doctrine or this or that. Really, a lot of times it's just your messaging isn't clear, but that you are welcoming to new people who would want to come. So the good news is that's the good news, right? It's just your delivery. If you can fix your delivery, you can grow your church. It's fixable. StoryBrand gives you a way to share your values and invite people into transformation without compromising who you are. A young couple moves into your neighborhood and they're looking for a church. They Google you, your website comes up, but they can't find the service time or where to take their kids, or even if someone like them would feel welcome. So they keep searching. They never go through your doors. It happens more than you think. And in 2025, digital clarity equals real life connection. Your website doesn't feel like your ministry? Let's fix that. I'm helping 100 churches refresh their sites this summer, and I'd love to review yours. No pressure, no strings, just help. So how do you start today? You don't need to become a marketing expert. You just need to simplify your messages. So here's a few quick wins. 1, rewrite your homepage headline with the guest in mind. Add a bold "plan your visit" button. Cut your top menu to 5 or fewer links. Add a "what to expect" section or a page. Make sure everything reads like a conversation, not a bulletin. And if you want a roadmap, I've actually created one for you. It's a free resource called 5 Things to Do to Your Website This Summer to Be Ready for the Fall. It's short, practical, and easy to use, and it's built on the StoryBrand framework we talked about today. This will help you and your team take real action. Your message matters. Your church matters. And when your website communicates clearly, people take the next step. And that's what StoryBrand helps you to do. That's why we use it in every church that we serve. And that's why I hope you'll start applying it today. Next week, we'll unlock some other items that we talk about inside of StoryBrand to help you. Until then, keep leading boldly and building brands that reflect the heart of your ministry. I'm Larry Williams, and this is the Mainline Marketing Blueprint, and I'll see you next Friday.